Hey there guys, Movie Master here. Today I'm going to be reviewing a movie. I'll be reviewing a science fiction horror movie known as The Fly, starring Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis, and John Getz. This movie, directed by David Cronenberg, is to me, at least to me, one of the best science fiction horror movies ever. It's a remake of a 1958 movie, and, surprisingly, it surpasses the original in so many ways. The Fly tells the story of a scientist named Seth Brundle, who invents a device that he claims can change the world, that device being a teleportation machine. Attempting to use the machine on himself, a common housefly finds its way inside the machine, and mutates with Seth Brundle, and slowly but surely transforms him into a huge fly. When you first hear the synopsis of The Fly, it sounds really cheesy, especially if you've seen the 50s version. In the 50s version, the scientist, he puts himself in the teleportation machine, and when he comes out, he has a huge head, a huge fly head. In this version, it dismisses that, and it goes into a much more metamorphosis transformation. Seth Brundle, played by Jeff Goldblum, he goes into the teleportation machine. Once he comes out, he's normal. He looks like a regular guy, but his DNA has transformed, has changed. And slowly through the film, you see him transform into an actual fly. The film is really grotesque. It's not exactly a family-friendly movie, but being a David Cronenberg movie, you have those elements of gore and a little bit of tense moments where you're like, this is just too gross. But it works really well with this movie. The acting is great. This film still holds up very well. It was shot in the 80s. I think it was released in I think it was 1986. Yeah, 1986. And this movie has no computer animation. This was during the time where CGI was non-existent, so the film holds up really well. And I think it got an award for best makeup effects. The makeup effects was done by Chris Wallace, who would go on to direct a sequel known as The Fly 2. And I'll be reviewing that one soon. The Fly 2 isn't exactly a great sequel, and I'll be reviewing that one soon, like I said. But Chris Wallace directed the sequel, who did makeup effects for the first film, and the effects in this movie is just spectacular. It's so surprising that we have abandoned the old puppeteering work, the old makeup effects, which look better than the computer animation in my opinion. Like I said, the movie still holds up really well today. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. If you want to, since it's Halloween, and it's that time to watch some horror movies, this is one that I recommend. An important question may arise. Should I buy this movie? Should I wait until they show it on TV? Should I find it on Netflix? It's up to you. In my personal opinion, this is a movie that should be owned. I have it on Blu-ray. I have it on this version. I've owned this movie several times. I've had it on VHS, on DVD twice, and now on Blu-ray. It's one of my favorite movies. This version on Blu-ray is spectacular. It looks really good. Even though it's one of the early Blu-ray releases, they did a very good job remastering it. I'm not too knowledgeable on the restoration process of film, but this movie looks really good. They used very little digital noise reduction on this movie, so it looks, it has that film age look, but it still looks great. So if you're interested in buying this movie, it's really cheap. I think it's like $5 to $10 online. I bought this when it first came out, so I paid full price at the time, but you can find it for really cheap on Amazon. As for the sequel, it's not available on Blu-ray, but it's available on DVD, and they have two versions. They have a standalone, which is a 2-disc special edition, and they also have The Fly and The Fly 2 together on one DVD. That version I think is discontinued, but you can find it for use on Amazon or eBay. Personally, just buy the version that has the standalone and get yourself this version on Blu-ray. The Fly 2, like I was mentioning, it's not exactly a great film. I'll be covering that in my next video, but it's a decent sequel. It's not exactly a great movie, but like I said, I'll be covering that in the next video. So that's all for today. Join me next time. I'll try to upload as soon as possible the next review, which will be The Fly 2. So until next time, and take care.